this year. Last year, seasons past, we've been working a lot with horseshoe sections. And disconnecting haircuts are nothing new. We've been doing it for a while now. But now we're doing more on purpose with more intent. Meaning that we've discovered that we can now create these disconnected haircuts that visually look like they blend, but technically don't look like they blend. And there's a reason why we're going that direction. And the reason being is because we've discovered another way to texturize hair where we get the movement. We've discovered another way where we can cut hair where we actually create simplicity for the client sitting in your chair. We've discovered another way where we can help them save them blow drying time. So I want you to put your hands together and welcome my guest, my client, for about the next hour, 15 minutes. Put your hands together for Shanna, please. Put your hands together. All right, so the idea is this. I'm going to treat her as a client. So if you've been watching me throughout the weekend, now I'm going to apply what I've been doing, apply it to real hair. So you have an opportunity to really see how it works and how you apply things, not only to what we've been doing methodically wise, but to textures of hair. All right, so I've got to keep into consideration, number one, the color. So anytime you go to detach areas, you've got to be aware of what's the color, because the color can give detachments away. So for example, if you were with me last season I introduced you to umbrellas. Umbrellas were just basically circular sections that were placed on top of the head. Now, if I was to cut an umbrella here, I would take a zigzag section. The reason being is because when we cut blonde hair, you can see the cutting lines, true or false. Okay? So what you want to do is create something where it's a little bit more diffused. But I don't want to go in there and rip the hair up anymore and slice it and do all of that. It just creates too much of a frayed texture. Let's get back into integrity in this industry. Let's get back into simplicity. Let's get back into discipline. Enough texturizing, guys. We've discovered another way to do it. The reason being is because I want to ask you, how do you recut that, what you cut 6 weeks ago? Very difficult to do. So last season it was all about umbrellas. Watch. So an umbrella was a circular section. The smaller the head size, the bigger the umbrella. The bigger the head size, the smaller the umbrella. So imagine that. I have a big head and I take a big umbrella section, it's going to pop and open too much. So now if I was to cut an umbrella, Shannon and I would be doing this. I would take a zigzag section. Now look how simple I'm making this zigzag section. I simply put my comb in there, comb the hair, the circular section that I want, slice my finger right into that, and like magic, I've been able to get a zigzag section. Say yes if you're with me so far. Okay? Now, the deeper I want the zigzag, comb it, that's going to be the circle that I want, because if I took a solid line and then cut this, that falls too hard. So now, if I have thicker hair, I'm going to zigzag even deeper. Look at the comb move up even more. Now, think about where you want it to slice. Put your finger there, and now look at the zigzag that I got there. If you learned something, say yes. And we're just getting started. Just getting started. Okay, now watch this. If I'm cutting natural curly hair in the last class, I suggest to them take zigzag sections. When you take zigzag sections, we have the opportunity to create more of a deconstructed textured edge to it, rather than going in and point cutting. I'm going to suggest with natural curly hair, we don't point cut into it, because you lose the fringe. The ends need fringe on natural curly hair, because it adds the weight. So now, if I'm cutting, and let's say I want a vertical zigzag section, I want you to place your comb in horizontally. And then let's say I want this zigzag section right there. Move it back and forth horizontally, 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 horizontally. Slide your finger where you want the zigzag, and like magic, you got the zigzag. Okay? In other words, in the old days, Sam used to draw it in. Time consuming. These clients want in and they want out. True or false? Come on, I can't hear you. True or false? Absolutely true. So the idea is all weekend long, Sam's going to be sharing with you, adding value behind the chair and giving you simplicity so you can get to the end result much quicker, because the blow dry is back. You have weekly clients now that are booking blowouts once a week because their life is too busy. Watch the learning now. Let's say Sam wants a horizontal zigzag. If I want a vertical zigzag, my comb in horizontally. So if I want a horizontal zigzag, which way do you think my comb would be placed? Vertically. So I comb where I want the zigzag there, take your comb, white teeth, the comb never leaves the hair. I simply move it up and down. Where I want the zigzag section, I now have a horizontal zigzag section. So just real simple, guys. That's what this is about. Now, let's talk about where's the direction of hair going. You girls are wearing skirts that are short here, Victoria, and you're wearing them long in the back. Right, Brooke? So now, that's what I call a mullet skirt. Absolutely right, mullet. In other words, the point Sam's trying to make you is this. The direction of hair, we are tilting hair back. It is moving back and away from the face. People have gone through too much frustration in their life, where now they're walking in salons doing this, and we want to cut the hair to do this. I'm going to ask you to rethink things and start moving things back. Welcome back, Farrah Fawcett. Imagine that angle, this angle, and I push it closer to the hairline. When you push it closer to the hairline and the client does this, now she has a very soft mullet. Forget about the mullet, okay? Mullet is too achy breaky. It's too whoop and then whoop. I want something that's softer as it moves back. You girls are taking curved sections here, and you're cutting that short, and you're throwing all your long hair over that when these clients go to the office, these young girls. And then when they go to the night, they're taking all this and throwing it back over. Two different personalities. People are looking for double identity in today's world. Forget about the word versatility and start saying your haircut has double identity. They're going to say, well, what do you mean, Sam? It gets the conversation going again. Get rid of the word asymmetrical and start saying, let's tilt your haircut. When you say tilt, they're going to go, what do you mean? Number two, it gets the conversation going again. Okay? If I go in and I say disconnection, they're like, no, 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 no. I don't want that disconnection stuff. But if I say, let's detach your haircut, they're going, well, what do you mean, Sam? And then the icon you bring up is Victoria Beckham. Guys, you got to move in from FHI. You got to move in or I'll get shut down. Out of respect for our good friends FHI, move in. Okay? Out of our respect for OPI, you guys got to move in. Come on, move in. Awesome, thank you. All right, so what's happening is by changing the verbiage, we are getting conversation started again. Now, let's go to what do I want to do here. This season, Sam has moved away from umbrellas. I've moved away from horseshoes, and now I'm into these rectangle sections. We've got to start thinking differently. We've got to start doing things differently, and we need to start communicating differently. It's a different world. Today, it takes courage to be a hairdresser. 60% of the people in today's world are buying things based on value. 40% of the people in today's world are buying things based on price. Take a look at what JCPenney did. JCPenney just hired Martha Stewart. Target hired Neiman Marcus. Kohl's hired Narcisco Rodriguez. And H&M hired Stella McCartney. Now when you think about it, these stores are discount stores. They're known for being a brand that you can buy something non-expensive. But what they're realizing is that the brand isn't surviving because people want more value for their money. So I want you to think about that. That's why these stores are getting smart and saying, we need to change the brand. Now I'm going to ask you, you need to change your brand behind the chair. You need to start taking things and doing them differently. Start communicating differently. Start adding value behind the chair. Sam, what do you mean? Well, in the last couple of classes, I've been teaching you how to do braids differently. Okay, different types of braids. So let's say, for example, look how long her hair is. Okay, but if I had a client that her hair was very short, and once I put that color on, I'm going to go grab my long hair mannequin. Well, while her color is processing, I'm going to teach her to do some braids. Why? Because I know she has 3 kids that are 10, 11, and 12 and have hair to here. Now while her color is processing, you're teaching her how to braid instead of hanging out in the break room. There is no value in the break room, my young kids. No value. Get out of the break room, get yourself on the floor, and be visible on the floor. If you're with me so far, give me a round of applause. Come on, with a sense of enthusiasm. All right, cool. Now, so that's adding value. So now watch how, as I'm going through this, and I'm working with her, how I'm going to add value to this appointment time. I'm going to teach her how to blow dry it because it's taking us less time cutting it. So we're spending more time on the finish, teaching these people how to finish their hair. Now look at my rectangle section, okay? Now, we are going to detach everything down below. We're going to detach it from this rectangle section. Now, what's freaky about this is the fact that this is so high than any season it's ever been. We've always been taught, don't go above the parietal ridge. Well now, the industry is where it is today because we've broken the rules to get where we are today. That's why it is today. Remember, we were taught to blend and be precise. And then we were taught slicing, point cutting. That's called texture. And then we were cutting little bits inside. The client went for that. They told Vidal Sassoon it'll never work. Haircuts and blow dries. It worked. They said precision will be there to stay. No, it's gone. We started to texturize. Then they said, Sam, disconnection will never work. I disagree. Now it's working because we figured out a way to make it look seamless, make it look visually like it blends, which you're about to see. Now watch what we're going to do. Look at the length of her hair, okay? And I told her I'm going to leave the length. The problem is we tried to layer everything through. Watch what Sam's going to do. If I layer this, it's probably going to get finer down here. So I'm going to go exactly what I just taught you, okay? I'm going to look at her hairline here. I'm going to take it, comb it diagonally down, and I'm going to take my comb and I'm going to go up and down, 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 up and down. Now what did I just do? I just dropped out her hairline. So this is the area I'm going to layer. My friends, listen to what Sam is about to tell you. If you layer fine hair and you blend fine hair, we just made it finer. When you layer it and you blend it, then you have to put the weight back in. So what do? We take it shorter to put the weight back in. Now they're complaining walking out. It took me years to gain that much length and they just cut it off. If you're with me, say yes. Yes. Okay, so we have to remember that. So now I'm just taking this zigzag section all the way to the back, center back of this. Okay, I'm going to eliminate all of this. So I'm just going to take this up here. This comes up, get that out of the way. I'm going to put this behind her ear for now. Then I'm going to come to this side. I'm going to repeat the same procedure. So it's all about detaching areas and understanding your sectioning. Combing it diagonally back, using the wide teeth to move the comb up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And she can feel the teeth of the comb, true or false? Yeah, she feels it on her head. So that's giving me that zigzag section. So now I come through the back, I zigzag. Now let's move this hair out of the way. Say yes if you're with me so far. Come on, I can't hear you. Say yes if you're with me. Yes or no? Okay, good. Take this excess hair and take this and put this into an elastic. This is the hair I'm not going to touch. I am not going to layer. Let me say this, my friends. You have to understand, in today's world, the client is paying us for the knowledge of knowing what not to cut. Going to look at you the way you're looking at me. We were taught, cut everything. That was then, this is now. What's the problem? Here's the solution. The problem was, when we layer all the way through, we make it fine. The solution would be take up the length. But now you created a new problem, losing the length. So all I've simply done is zigzag section, okay? Now I let that go. That's what's going to be layered through. And I let this side go. Check this out, let that go. And now I got my rectangle top.
So cool.
So now watch what we're going to do. Now we're going to come through. And we've got to create a soft edge. So, are you texturizing at all, Sam? Yes, I am. I'm going to use point cutting. I believe that point cutting will become a very, very classical technique. Point cutting. Watch what I mean. Watch. So, it's a blunt closure of the scissor. So, I'm going to separate and go a diagonal forward section. I want some layering in here, so I need to figure out, if I cut you here, where are you going to fall? You see what I'm doing here? So where it falls, that's where I want to cut it. If I want it longer, what am I going to do? Slide my hand out. So what Sam is trying to teach you, before you cut anything, look at it. And say, if I cut you here, we're going to fall. Nice. Okay? I want to have a little bit of action inside here. I got my zigzag section. I know it's going to fall soft, and I'm going to soften this edge immediately. So I'm going to move into this diagonal section. I'm going to take it all the way to the corner of this eye, and that's going to be my length. Okay? So I determined my length. Now before I do that, I'm going to go to the length in the back. I'm going to say, if I cut you here, where are you going to go? Nice. So you see how, before you cut, start to figure out what's your lengths. How many times do you go and you start to layer and you're going, oh my gosh, I'm layering this out too much in the back. So what do? We slide our hand out. Now you've totally disconnected for the wrong reason, to protect yourself. Okay, so watch what we do. Here we go. We're going to go right to the corner, the opposite corner of that eye. That's my length. My elevation is diagonal. I'm going to go in first and cut a blunt horizontal line. After cutting that line, I'm going to sink down about 2 inches. I'm going to fan that, and now I'm going to keep my shear horizontal parallel to the floor. And I'm just going to start to move my fan. And by moving the fan, what it does is it allowed me to maintain the halo of length, but I released the weight inside. So now this falls with a softer edge to it. Say yes if you're with me so far. Okay, I want a little bit softer edge. Sam, yes? If you were in the salon, would you be cutting this dry or wet? Okay, first of all, I'd ask her, do you have any natural movement in your hair? What's natural curling? Okay, so do you stretch dry your hair at all? Oh, I stretch it dry all the time. So I would cut her dry, stretch drying it. If she said, I go in, Sam, and I wear it, sometimes I wear it straight, and sometimes I wear it curling. So I will stretch dry this, cut it like this, then I'll wet her back down and I'll diffuse it. So I see the haircut both ways. Is this making sense, guys? Oh, it's not a comb, it's clip. Okay? So the idea is this, is that I want to go in, guys, and I want to take things and approach things a little bit differently in terms of what I used to do. So if you've been following Sam for a while, you know that I've been taking large sections and compressing sections. Now Sam's getting back into small sections again. Now watch the angle I'm creating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her existing length that she has, and I'm going to put an angle in that goes from short to long. Simply by going in and layering this top interior. Okay, for those of you that are just walking up, look at what's underneath. I've got her ponytail underneath, and that hair underneath I'm not touching, because I want that to stay nice and thick. So I'm going to put a nice diffused layered edge into this. So I come through, my over direction point is right to the center of her nose. Right to the center of her nose. When I'm there, just cut the darn thing. Stop overcombing it, guys. I think we overcomb so much. When we overcomb, I guarantee you're going to overdirect it. You're going to go past your point of reference. When we go past our point of reference, what happens is you start to lose the consistency in your graduation. So it starts to become a little bit more blunt, a little bit more too solid, but it gets chunky as it moves back. Remember, this season, Sam's starting in the front, and that's because I want the hair to move back. In the past, where we always started? In the back, working our way forward. This season, think about it. You want the hair to move back and away from the face, we've got to start in the front area. Now watch, take a look at this. Look at the back area, how I'm combing this. It's for you, my friends. Excuse my back. Eyes here. Okay? I saw you, love. I saw you not here, here. Okay? Now look at this. Look at that back, bringing all up and brought to my guideline. See this, guys? Now fold the hair and look for your guide. Slide to that. You're not going in, and I'm not blunting out my softness. It's in there already. See, there's my softness I created for my previous section. Now, here's my softness from my previous section. Now I'm going to go in. So Sam, time out. Yes? You're going in and you're re-softening what you've already cut. Absolutely right. I'm softening again, and again. Why? Look at the color of this hair. I don't want solid blunt lines in this. If I see solid blunt lines, you're going to see it in the graduation. Now look at this. Look how deep Sam is going in with his point cutting. So I'm using a 7-inch shear. If I want it more shallow here, then I go to a 5.7. I'm going to ask you a question, my friends. You want to add value to the appointment? Start picking up a number of shears within one appointment. and you're adding value. The days of cutting with a 5.5, 5.75, those days are still around, but you gotta understand, the short shears work for my short little geometric shapes when I carve around the ear. My longer shear, I want to go deep. So I've got to invest in a longer shear to go deep. All right. I love you guys. Okay, so watch. If you don't have a long shear, you're going to use your favorite little shear. So Sam, that's yours, my dear. You can have it. So Sam, I can't afford your 7-inch. Okay, I love you, and I could care less if you go back there and buy something. I'll still be here for you. But watch this. When you want to go deep and you have a short shear, you're going to place your hand deep. You're going to take your short shear, you're going to put your guiding blade on your index finger, you're going to angle slightly, you're going to slide down and point cut. Slide down and point cut. So can you see I'm still going deep? Does that make sense, guys? Okay? Do you love me, yes or no? Yeah. All right, so that's for those guys that love short little shears. You can still point cut deep. Now, look at the angle I created. I created this angle that moves from short to long. You start to see this angle. But I didn't take a diagonal line, pull it forward, cut the angle line in, and then layer. Okay, guys, you gotta move forward for FHI. You gotta move forward for them. Please move forward for FHI, or they're gonna shut me down. Come on, guys, move forward. Squeeze in.